Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of volume. This is standard 8.7a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 41 off the 2017 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a container that holds sugar. It is shaped like a cylinder. So they give us the radius and the height, and we're looking for the volume. All right, so let's draw a picture here. It's going to represent what we're doing. Looks like it's kind of a smaller circle, long and tall and skinny, because it's got a height of over 3 times as big as our radius there. All right, so let's just say this is our cylinder. Let's label what we have here. So the radius of the container is 3 inches. So we're going to draw that right here. Remember, the radius is a straight line from the center to any edge of the circle. It doesn't matter which direction it goes, because if it's a true circle, that distance is exactly the same from the center to any edge. And so we're going to call that 3 inches. And then we've got our height here, which is 10.5 or 10.5 inches. And that just goes from here to here. Now, how do we solve for volume? Well, if you look on your mathematics chart, which is where we need to start, we're going to find that the volume of a cylinder, or it actually says the volume of a prism, they both actually use the same exact equation. All you're going to get is BH. So what exactly does that mean? Well, the h is the height, and that's pretty simple because they typically give that straight to you. So we're going to say it's b, and I'm going to substitute in this height of 10.5. b times 10.5. So all I got to do is find your b, and then you're good to go. The b that's where the work comes in, though. So it's not super difficult, but they don't necessarily label the b for you. So we need to know that this b is the base. And when we're talking base, it means the area of the base. And that's why we can use this BH for both the cylinder or prism. If it's a cylinder, we're dealing with the area of this circle because it's got a circular base. But if we're dealing with a prism, whether it's a rectangular prism, a cube, triangular prism, hexagonal prism, it's the area of that shape, the triangle, the hexagon, the square, the rectangle. And so what we need to know is, how do you find the area of a circle? Because that's what we're dealing with. So the area of a circle, since it is a cylinder, that's kind of the trick to this, because it's not included in the equation or the formula you need to know. You've got to get there, and it's pi r squared. And so they actually give us the radius in this problem. Typically what they would give us is they would give us some kind of measurement like a diameter, right? They would say, oh, 6 inches is the diameter, and then you'd have to cut it in half to figure out what that radius is, but they go ahead and give you the radius. So let's just go ahead and plug that in there. So we're going to get pi, and then our radius is 3 squared. So you can plug that into your calculator if you want to. Just realize that 3 squared is not 3 times 2. Remember, it's 3 times itself 2 times. So that's 9. Right? So pi times 9. And so if you want to do it by hand, you can approximate pi for 3.14. But most of us actually have a calculator that actually includes pi as one of the symbols. Remember, that's the ratio of the diameter to the circumference. So that is going to be about 9 times pi. Let's call it 28.274. Now that's our base. We did all this business to get the base. And then we've got to bring this 2.5 down here and multiply that by there. And we're going to get our answer. And we'll get our volume. So let's multiply that by 10.5. And what do we get? We get, well, 296.88. 05057, but look at that. That's inches cubed. We've got our answer there of B.